Today, we are going to talk about how we set up virtual playback to play on 3 different consoles simultaneously. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of how we set it up.
We have an SD7 and an SD12 in monitors, plus an SD7 at front of house. Pooch has control of the virtual playback at front of house, and I'll let him tell you how he gets it to the stage.
Here at front of house, we have a Mac Mini that is used as the record and playback computer. It is networked to a DigiGrid MGB that is connected to the MADI ports of the SD7. In my desk, I have selected the MADI ports 1 and 2, for example, in my setup copy audio grid.
The copy audio grid is a quick and easy way to patch audio around your I/O ports, including utilizing the Listen to Copy Audio button that allows you to switch your microphone inputs to the patched audio paths you desire.
Now that I have selected my MADI 1 and 2 to be my copy audio paths, the playback of the recordings I made is now available to me by pushing the Listen to Copied Audio button.
Over here on my desk, I have patched the orange box opticore paths to my copy audio paths in the stage rack part of the grid. Now, when I press Listen to Copied Audio, the microphone paths are switched to the playback paths I picked up from the orange box.
Alright, so as you can see, I have a DiGiCo SD9 at home and I've been locked up with it for the last few weeks or so. I've had this SD9 and I've been running some tracks off of my DAW straight into the console, been playing with some things. Just kind of working on some mixing and some new things, things that new updates offer, and the way that I've been doing this is kind of the same thing we've all done while we've been out on tour, is using virtual Soundcheck. One way I do it is by using MGB. That's what I've been using at home. This small piece of gear is a great thing to have. I've owned this for a good while now. Had it with me just about on everything I do. Drop it in a backpack or one of your luggages, take it with you, plug it in, easy. It doesn't take much to set up, and you can record the show and play it back. Pretty straightforward. MADI in and out number 1 and MADI 2 in and out. You got a power, external work clock if you want to do an external work clock, and then you can network it to your computer, and that's pretty much it. There's not much to it, but it allows you to do a lot of cool things, you know, get your mixes going. Sometimes you'll have a short sound check and you want to spend a little more time on doing things. Having one of these next to you is recording your sound check, being able to play it back, updating either your snapshots or, like I said, your EQs, compression, all that good stuff. Valuable, very, very valuable. Well worth having one of these. Here's the example I was telling you guys about on my SD7. This is a pretty current session that I've been using. To set up our record for our virtual playback, pretty simple. You want to come to the setup menu, then you want to come to the audio I/O. This is where it shows all our SD racks that are connected to the console. As you can see here, I have a total of 3 SD racks and a mini rack, and then 2 MADI ports, which are labeled MGB and MGB2. What we need to do is rack 1, my first SD rack. As you can see, it's pretty full. The easiest way to connect that to the MGB is we come here to the copy audio 2 function. So we're basically copying audio from SD rack 1 to, we select MGB1, which is my first one. So 1 through 56 is now on MGB1. And we come down to the second SD rack, pretty full rack as well too. Same thing. Select MGB2, and now the second set of inputs is now connected to my second MGB. Once we're ready to listen to that recording we just did, you hit listen to copied audio, and that's pretty much it. From there, as soon as you hit play on your DAW, everything will pop up on your console exactly where you're sending it out.
So once I have my console laid out, there are two ways to implement virtual soundcheck with copy audio. If you hit setup and go to audio IO, if everything is coming from the SD rack, then you could hit in the top right hand corner, hit there's a drop down menu that says copy audio to, and if I drop that down, my record is on that. Because I'm using the USB, it has to be patched in the copy audio page. And then also, I also record my left and right mix. So I come out of a record matrix and I go, so if I go back to my layer here, I have a record matrix on my left and right, which is what I'm using to my recording computer to record video. But that left and right, I usually come out of that with an AES cable out of AES 1 and 2, let's say back into an AES input. So that I'm not going back through a preamp again, it's just going AES to AES. And then when I go to copy audio, I can also copy my record left and right to my recording. The reason why I do that is because the band sometimes will ask me for a board mix, and by doing this, it records it right off the desk. Sounds really great, and the quality is really good. So this is similar to any other patching matrix that you will see. If you use Reaper, it will look very familiar. If you've used other consoles in the past, it looks familiar. And so you can patch where the signal is coming from and where it's going to for copy audio. And that's how I implement virtual soundcheck for recording. And when it goes to, I'm using on the recording end a combination of Tracks Live and Reaper. I've recently started to use Reaper.